Canada.
All right, ready to go, Alan?
Okay, well, hey, everybody. Alan Nagao here from Calgary, Canada, and we're about ready to start our philosophy of success. But today, a very powerful topic for philosophy of success. One of the things that I always talk about in success is that if you really want to, just earn a pin title, build wide. But if you really want to earn money with Nu Skin and have full success and freedom and a solid, solid team, you need to build deep. Deep for dough, wide for show is the way I was taught it. And we have today an incredible couple that comes to us as 4-star platinum team elites with 4-star platinum team elites this year in their organization. Kyle and Trish, thank you so much for coming on, and give us a little bit of your background, where you come from, how your Nu Skin business started, and where did it start? And then tell us a little bit about this concept of going deep for dough, driving lines, and what are some of the key philosophies that you use, and what are some of the key secrets?
Wow, Alan, it's such a surreal honor to be on here, but for you, but I think even more than that, to be asked to talk on driving lines is so full circle for us. It was a funny moment because, you guys, I want you to know, this man right here, Alan Nagao, he not only do we attribute so much of our success in life to him and his heart being willing to work with us and talk to us when we had questions and share concepts, but drive the line. I mean, he pounded that into us from day one. When we were babies in the business, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what we were doing, but we started to understand that we needed to figure out this drive the line concept. And he's the reason that we are here today, that we are where we are today, and we will do anything for you ever, Alan.
Absolutely.
We love you.
Yeah, you guys, and I'm so excited to be on here to be introduced, to talk about driving the line. I'll never forget, Alan, in Hawaii, when you really hammered this home for us, was after a lot of trials, tribulations, almost quitting the business, crying together.
Bridge of tears.
Bridge of tears, literally breaking down and crying. One of the things that you said was drive the line is the most important thing, and that you wish you could really teach that to as many people as possible. And so if I can give that back, or if we can give that back to you and help teach people,
we're going to share
100%, we will.
All our tidbits.
Yep.
And a little bit about where we came from.
Sure. Yeah. So I actually came from finance before. This is my wife, Trish. Trish's dad is Jim Hedzicki and mom is Carol Hedzicki, and they sponsored Alan. And so Alan and us are actually sidelines. And so all the training, all the mentoring, all the love that he gave was just to a sideline. So we were very lucky to have that. But I was in finance. Trish was in commercial real estate before. We were doing our normal thing. You would think, oh my gosh, Jim Hedzicki is their father-in-law. But you know what? Kids, we're young, we're dumb. We have to, as Jim would say, go through the meat grinder, right? We have to try to blaze our own path. And then, and one of the things that they did was they never pushed us into the business. We took all the products, we tried all the products. I've been taking them since college football.
I took them since I was in high school.
Yeah.
I was using all the beauty products, the Galvanic Spa, all the supplements. I mean, you name it. We believed in the product and we loved the product.
And in our businesses, we just got to a point where, I was living in San Diego, driving between 2 hours and 5 hours up to Los Angeles, back and forth, 5-6 days a week. Trish was working her 9 to 5, and they're both just stressful businesses. Yeah. And we were growing and climbing those ladders, that corporate ladder. And as we kind of looked down from the corporate ladder, we were looked around, we were like, I don't really like where we're going with time, with income, really income was fine, but it was the freedom and the lifestyle that we didn't like. And so funny enough, I jumped into Nu Skin first. I got to a point with Jim where I said, I got to do something different. I was looking at some stuff and he said, why don't you look at this Nu Skin thing? And I was like, that monster business that makes you all the money and lets you just like retire? I was like,
Like,
sure.
why are you
we'll take a look at
paragliding
it."
every day and surfing every
Yeah.
day? And we see you on phone calls here and there, but what's going on?
Yeah. And so I said, yeah, sure, I'll take a look. And, first thing we did was went to a meeting with Alan up in Los Angeles. Next thing we did was jumped into Jim's car, drove 12 hours in 20-degree weather up to
Utah?
TEU, right? And so talk about getting in front of some powerful people. Make sure that you are doing those same things. And then
And
we
so the
started
company get to events, team events are where it's at. There where leaders are born.
building the business. And I'll tell you this, guys, if you're in a spot where you're going through some struggles, you're having a tough month or anything like that, we had, and Trish quit her business or her job soon after and joined me in the business. We had 36 straight months of failure. I want to tell you guys that, like, it was not easy. This did not happen overnight. You know, we were stubborn. We had to learn. We tried different things. But really what drove us was the dream and the commitment to living a better life. And so that was kind of what really set us off.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people look at us and they go, oh, well, no wonder you're a team elite now, or this or that. Your dad's a team elite in the company and this and that. And all I can say to that, you guys, is, you know, all our contacts when we came in were like gone. I mean, all my friends, even Kyle's mom was already on my dad's team.
Yeah.
So we really had to start from scratch, and we knew we weren't going to get to where we wanted to be in this business by anybody else doing the work for us. We just needed to dive in, and we needed to be willing to do whatever it took every day to learn and keep getting better and not let failure stop us, and persevere and start learning some of the key things that we're going to eventually. We were like, okay, so what are the key things? We're stumbling, we're trying to do this every day. What are those fundamental pieces that we have to master and just dive in and fail at it first to figure out that are going to get us to where we want to be? Because the one advantage that I will tell you that we did have coming into this business, and I tell everybody this, is that maybe we had belief in our hearts and in our minds that was a little bit deeper and a little bit stronger, because we had seen people do it. We'd seen people reach the success, the freedom, the lifestyle that we wanted. And we knew without a doubt, 100%, if we were willing to do whatever it took to learn through things and to never quit, we knew we could get there eventually. And so just know that, you guys, like, if you ever need to borrow that from, you know, that belief for a moment from somebody else, from me, from Alan, from your upline, whoever, borrow that belief for a minute and just dive in, get to work. And I hope that right now we can dive in and we can start kind of talking about dragging the lines. And hopefully you're gonna learn some tidbits that maybe you just hear it again today and it pops, or it resonates with you, or something new, and put it into action when we get off the call, and let your business start to explode.
Yeah. For us, you guys, I remember the time that we kind of talked about here when we flew out to Hawaii. We were at a low point in our business, and we reached out to Jim, low point in the business, you know, and things weren't like really that hot in the US. They weren't really like rolling like with our system. And so he said, just go out and see Alan, you know, I mean, that's your guy right there. And so for us, we didn't have any money at the time. We didn't have you know, anything to rub together. We had credit cards that were getting scary.
Spaghetti dinners
we
every day.
literally, yeah, on that. But we didn't want to quit. Like we said, we're going to go that last effort. And here's why I say that is, you know, I hope that it doesn't take that much pain for you to figure that out also, or to take that next step, or to do what you really need to do in this business. I hope that you can learn that from other people, and learn that from learn that from us and from other blue diamonds, to just say, all right, the change that need to be made have to be made right now. Like, there doesn't have to be a spaghetti dinner week. It doesn't have to turn into bean week, or, you know, credit cards, or borrowing miles from family to get to trainings and things like that. Let's just go. Let's just dive in here
and just start trying to
absolutely
practice some of these things,
and
it will be explosive. It's so fun. It's
yeah.
so fun, I think.
So I would grab some notes. I grab a pen, some paper, guys, because drive the line is a concept. It's funny. It's a concept and it's an action. And so the first thing that you have to do is you have to be ready and willing to understand it. And a lot of times in this business, I try to put myself back into the shoes that we were when we were first getting started, or we didn't have success.
Which was 7 years ago, by the way. I don't think we said that. We started in 2014.
And so no matter where you are, whether you have a team right now, or you're just getting started, or you had a team, or you're building a team, wherever the heck you are, just know that this is a concept that you're going to use in your business one way or another. It's something that you can use to grow your business. And like Alan said, this is where you need to focus. This is what, for me, this was the difference between direct sales and network marketing. And direct sales, this is what I was taught, was direct sales is going to be, you're making sales. You're selling directly to people. Now, Nu Skin came up with this amazing compensation plan, all these products. They keep innovating, keep doing all this amazing stuff because they want you to drive to build a business. Okay. So that's the network marketing side of it. And so if you're not operating with Drive the Line in your business, if you're not taking these steps, then you're not taking full advantage of what Nu Skin is literally throwing at you. Okay. You guys tell me if I'm talking too fast, because I can feel myself getting excited and talking fast. You say go quick. Okay.
I'm like
yeah.
telling Kyle to slow down. I'm here. You can't see my hands, but
that's right. So that's why you want to focus on Drive the Line. It's also a skill. You're not going to get it the first time. In this business, things are there's always numbers. It's always a numbers game, right? So it might not be the right person. It might be the right person. You might do something wrong and mess it up, and it all fall. Like, just keep going. You're going to get better every single time. Okay. So driving the line. Here's the why do we want to drive the line? Okay. The first thing I learned in Philosophies of Success. When did we see this?
Yeah.
When we had Philip Chung. He was in a red jacket and he was dancing around like Michael Jackson. I was like, who is this wild man? But one of the main things that stuck with us was there's no faster way to build a team than at the speed of trust. And that really sank into me. You know, like when you're talking to people and you want to tell them about something, you don't go to a random, if you have a great meal, like at a new restaurant, you don't just walk up to someone on the street and say, hey, I got this restaurant over here. You're going to love it. Right? Like, who are you? I just ate. Like, why are you talking to? You're going to go to your brother, your sister, your best friend, your cousin, and you're going to tell them, hey, this place down the street is great. You got to go there. Right? That's how you share information the fastest. That's the word of mouth marketing is the fastest way to build any business, especially this business. The next reason you want to drive the line is it teaches you to work with the top 5% of someone's network. And so I'll use the Jim and Eileen Williams. You guys have probably heard her tell her story about when she was sitting in the back of the room and she was fuming because everyone was having success and she wasn't. She said, that's it. It's enough. It's my turn. She went home. She went to work. She marched into her boss's office and grabbed Jim and said, Jim, you and Carol got to come to this thing tonight. Jeff Mack's coming. And she went with confidence. Right? Jim and Carol go to the thing. They say, yeah, we're interested. We'll put our $1,000 in. And then the next day she went to Jim and said, Jim, if you could do this business with one person, who would that be?
Anyone in the world.
Anyone in the world. And look how she asked that question. It wasn't, hey, Jim, did you like it? This is drive the line. Okay. You're driving a line. You're asking it with confidence. Who's that person? And he said, well, Alan Nagel.
That's easy.
That's easy. Alan Nagel, my brother.
Mother.
Yeah. My brother. All right, well, let's call up Alan Nagel. And right there, bam, started working with it. So she took herself, not from saying, hey, Jim, do you know anybody that likes to take vitamins? Or do you know anybody that's a vitamin salesman? She said, who's the number one person, the first person? So that's why Drive the Line is going to be so important to you guys. You stop working with the turkeys and you start working with the eagles, okay? Birds of a feather flock together. You want to hang out with the eagles, start working with their top 5%. The next thing is that it puts oil in the ground. Now, this is so important, you guys, because so many people start somebody in the business and that person quits and they think, what the heck? What happened? Well, one of the problems is that you didn't put oil in the ground for them. There's not that extra incentive. And when you are doing Drive the Lines, there's oil in the ground. And if that doesn't motivate them, then the fear of loss is going to motivate them. We always know, Tony Robbins always says, there's two motivating factors, the opportunity to gain or the fear of loss. People are probably going to do more for the fear of loss. All right. And the next thing
we were actually just talking to our team about a couple of our 4-star leaders about this concept today of the fear of loss. And you guys, the power we've learned over the last 7 years, the power of using the fear of loss to motivate is so unbelievable. People really will react more to the fear of losing something that they could have more than they'll react for the gain or the advantage that they could have if they keep going, if they do something. And so, like today we were talking about how this right now, you guys, is all over the world. We were talking to our team about the United States. This is a land grab right now. The United States market is literally launching to 10 billion in the next few years. I mean, I fully believe that with my whole being. I feel it happening. I see it happening. I see the market heating up. And the truth is, you guys, we on this call right here, we're not the only people in the United States. We're not the only people in the world in different countries. There are teams, there are leaders just like us that are on fire and that are like ready to do the work today. And they are like, I want that market share. I want that. This is a land grab. Like, I want that. And they are going for it. And it's so important, we were saying, to tell and remind our teams of that. Like, you guys, every day that we aren't doing the business the way we could, somebody else is out there grabbing that market share. And so why not us, and why not today?
Absolutely. And that's what's so beautiful. And then there's also Latin America.
Oh my gosh.
Less than us right now. And so the fifth thing is that it solidifies your business long term. There's a lot of different reasons that this works. From the short term, people just sticking around longer, right? If you have distributors come and then go, drive the line will help. If you have somebody, if you want a business that, sorry, cat like starts meowing at us and wants out. If you want a business that lasts like the test of time, that pays generational wealth, drive the line is very important in that. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the power of exponential growth. Okay, so with this, why this really factors in is the idea of, can you find, and I remember doing this, Alan, over and over, this dance over and over. Yours was 4. Alan, I go to the meeting, I go, man, I have a tough time. It's like year 1, year 2, year 3. Man, Alan, I have a tough time. What do I got to do, man? What do I got to do? He's like, oh, if you had to go out and find 4 people like this week, could you do it if you had to? And I had to answer that question truthfully. I was like, God, I've been trying, but if I had to, yeah, I could.
If your child's life depended on it,
yeah.
Do you think you could go out and find 4 people?
Yep. And
yes.
So he'd ask me that over and over. And then could you motivate them because of this opportunity to do that same thing, right? So that was how he taught us. And our question here is, can you go out and find 5 people to do this with you? I mean, this business is fast. It is fun. We are rolling. We're having a good time. The world right now is in a state where everyone wants to join a side gig. They want to get something going. They're either going to join you or they're going to start driving an Uber and get in a car crash. I don't want that to happen. So that's the question you have to ask. If it's no, then maybe you need to rethink it. Okay. So can you find 5 people to do this with you?
The truth is, you guys, that there's 2 concepts here. We're teaching drive the lines. The reason we're teaching drive the lines is because there's an exponential growth factor. This is how your business will go, not just from 0 to 2 to 5. This is how your business can go from 0 to 60. That income, that freedom, what we're talking about, is attained through exponential growth, through drive the line. So what is linear growth versus exponential growth? So linear growth would be, if you look at these numbers, if you know, like Kyle said, how to go find 5 people. Yeah, you can find 5 people, you guys. If you had to do it, you could find 5 people every single day. And what would that look like right now? You'd have 5 people, then the next day, or if you want to say 5 people a week, okay, you'd have 5 people the next week, you'd have 10 people on your team. You go get 5 more, then you have 15. You go get 5 more the next week, then you have 20 people, right? And that number would grow linearly every week by 5 people that you yourself are going and getting. You end up with 35 people after 7 weeks. Okay, that's linear growth.
And let's be honest, within this, that first 5 made their sales, talked to some people, and then you got really busy working with the next 5, the next 5, the next 5, the next 5. So that first 5 is falling off.
You're getting ignored.
Trickling off. They're like, what's going on here? I don't really get it. Maybe I'll keep using some of the product. Maybe I'll wait for someone to call me, right? So the other concept of working with exponential growth
Okay, so you go find your 5, which you guys, I will say this right now. It is never, this is an interjection. It has never been easier to find people that want to do this blessing of a business with us than it is right now in the world. With everything that has gone on in the last 2 years, you guys, we're seeing across all countries, across all cultures, across all ways of life, people wanting a different way of life, you guys. They want freedom. They're realizing they don't want to be tied down. They want full control over their life, their family's life, and their destiny. They also want financial freedom. They don't want to be reliant anymore on that company or that business, right? That's like, there's no reliability there anymore. So let me just tell you, you finding your 5 has never been easier. It is right for the picking. People, you guys, are out there praying for what we have. They're looking, they're crying themselves to sleep at night, looking for what we have. And I really believe that it's our duty, you guys, once we get introduced to this business and this blessing, it's our duty to find those people and to help them, and they're everywhere right now. So you go find your 5 people with exponential growth, but guess what the difference is? You teach those 5 people to simply go do the same thing. You don't go constantly find your own 5. You're now teaching your 5 to go find their 5 and encouraging them. When that happens, you guys, instead of going from 5 to 10 in linear growth, you're going from 5 to 25 people. And what we want you guys to know is that that can happen like in 24 hours. That, depending on how fast you are willing to go, that kind of growth in your business can happen in 24 hours. We've seen it happen. We experienced this when we got into massive action and decided we were all in. You teach those 25 people, now they can go find their 5 people. You guys, that's 125 people instead of just 15 if you're doing it all yourself. Then when those 125 go find their 5, that's 625 people in your business. That becomes 3,125 people in your business when those 625 people simply go help 5 people around them. And that is going to be no problem.
And because Nu Skin pays 6 generations deep, okay, that's how the business
That's a
works.
blue
Generations
diamond.
of executives, right? That 3,125 turns into, if they all find 5, which we already agreed, anybody can do it, right? So we know that this can happen. We know that this can, it's not going to be perfect and beautiful like this, but 15,625. That's the power of this business.
When we started in our first few months of trying to drive the line and get into exponential growth, where instead of being focused on constantly recruiting frontline, our own people, but starting to teach our people immediately to go get their 5 people, we ended up, I believe, going to 2,000 people on our team in a matter of 6 months. And that's how that math worked out for us when we were in it and we were doing it and we were just going, you guys, like hair on fire. Don't worry about what else is happening, who's falling off, who's this or that. You are hair on fire. You're going fast. And we're going to talk about that next.
One thing I want to say about this, let me go back here, is with this, some of you guys looking at this going, man, I got 3 people on my team. How many has 15,625 people? Okay. So you guys don't focus on that. Okay, because your system will help take care of that. People will start teaching other people. It'll start growing. You won't be talking to 15,000 people at once. Okay, this has happened for Alan. It's happened for other people. I remember asking Alan when we were Lapis. I was like, man, I'm tired. Right? I'm like, I'm working hard as a Lapis. Like this is back when we had to have 12. I was like, 10 more executives. God. And he's like, don't worry. Like you're gonna find the ones that start to do it themselves. You're gonna find the system that starts to reproduce itself. And once you find those leaders that start doing that, that's how the business works. And so I don't want you guys to have, because this is what I had, literally a fear of loss was holding me back, because I was like, I'm at full capacity as a Lapis. I'm like, we're working hard. We're working full time, like crazy. Don't worry, guys. The business will take over. That's what Nu Skin is set up for us. That's what network marketing has done. So
and also,
everybody can do this.
What we learned that helped us get with this concept from 0 to 2,000 people in 6 months was the concept of duplication. You guys, what Kyle's saying, your system is so simple and anybody can do it, and you're clear on what that system is that you and your team are doing, and you can teach it to your next person so easily and so fast so that they can then take that simple system and they can teach their 5 people so fast. We learned that from Team Aloha. That is the Team Aloha way. That is why Team Aloha is so successful around the world, because Alan Nagao taught everybody the importance of having a simple system that you can duplicate with. And so that's how it becomes a machine, and it starts to take over. You don't have to take that on yourself, like Kyle's saying. You don't have to train all 15,000 people all by yourself how to get their people. No, duplication is gonna take over.
All right, so here it is, all about making it happen, right? So this is just a little visual. I'm a visual learner, so I got to see it. This over here is the dreaded pancake business. Okay, this is what we call a pancake. We got to give me a raise of hands. Okay, admit it if you have been a pancake. If you are a pancake, if you're a pancake eater, all right. We're gonna switch you over to stacking waffles. All right, we're gonna go from just one pancake to stacking waffles. But this is what a business looks like when you're
Going
just
wide
working
for show.
with wide for show. Exactly, wide for show, right? But these people have no support, right? There's no foundation underneath them. There's nothing that's driving them to keep doing the business. Yeah, making a little bit of money here and there. Yes, great products, absolutely, right? But what's really down there that's going to motivate the heck out of them? So instead of working like that, right, and adding one, then adding two, and working linear, right? We're going to start working exponential. So that exponential growth is, all right, let's just say, and for this one, I just said 4. Let's go ahead and let's say you start 4 people, okay?
You're going to start driving deep, you guys. You're going to start driving lines here.
Mm-hmm. And so this is what I challenge my team to do is, like, when Trish and I were when we were really going, we're really moving, our goal was to drive 1 level deeper every day. A level deeper every day. And so I'd say 2-3 levels deep a week is a new goal that you guys should have in your mind. And that will teach you. It'll be hard, but it'll teach you to start driving lines.
And some days you might get 2 levels deep,
right.
two additional levels or more.
And some days you might lose one.
And that's okay.
Of course, like that's okay. That's what happens, right? So if you start these 4 people, okay, so this is what this is saying. These are the people that you're starting, the ones with the red circles around them. We're calling these the hot molecules. All right, this is somebody that gets it. This is somebody that has a big network. This is somebody that can put in the time, that can do the system, right?
They're
That's
excited.
Ready to go.
They're engaged. They're listening to you. You feel the fire coming from them. They're ready to go. Yep. Right.
So, and it might just be the best of the 4. Okay. So out of these 4 people that start, what do you want to do and why we're doing this? Because you want to get focused on not driving everything. You want to drive the line. Okay. So let's just say of these 4, that this person is the hottest person. You get on the phone with them, and your goal is always to get people that get names. All right. We say get 5 names. All right. Get 5 names. It might be 20. I know when we first started, Jim told me, Kyle, I want you to write a list of 100 names. And I was like, all right, Jim, I'll be back. I'm going to go home, work on that list. And he was like, no, let's just do it right now. Okay. like right here in front of me, do it. I'm like, oh my gosh. We sat there for like 45 minutes, an hour, came out with 100 names, right? So if we can do 5, absolutely. So focus there, right? And when you start these 4, you're going to really focus on all of them to get business underneath them. So to start people. So you're having those conversations of who do you know that can get started, just like Eileen Williams did with Jim, and that's how they found Alan, right? And so who do you know that you want to get started? And that's going to turn into the 2nd level, right? And let's say that this person right here is a hot molecule, and they say, yep, all right, I got 5 people that we can talk to, and 2 of those people get started, all right? Now, a lot of people will stop right there and just focus on those 2 and then go back to the pancake business, right? They'll be like, oh, but I love the pancakes. I'm so good at building pancakes. Like, I have to go back. No, we're going to keep driving lines. We're stacking waffles here, okay? So out of those 2, you decide who's the best, okay? Who's got the most potential, and you have that same conversation with them. And you're saying, hey, who do you know that we can get started in this business? Who are your customers?
Them get 4 people started.
Who are your friends? Who do you know that washes their face? Whatever your system is, to get those people and start bringing those customers in, start having that business conversation with them, right? And so you might start 4 here, and this one's really hot. Okay, so now you're down 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, all right? And instead of starting, you've only started 4 people on your front line. So out of your sphere of influence, you've talked to 4 people, but you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people on your team, you guys.
And you're 4 levels deep.
Okay, and you're 4 levels deep. Now on level 5, something special happens. All right, Alan Nagao, Nathan Ricks always say, level 5 is where you're going to find your locker. All right. And mathematically, it just makes sense because this isn't a finding game. It's a sifting game. Network marketing is not about finding the people. This is you're trying to find them in your network. All right. You already talked to your top 3 people, your top 5 people. Now you're just working with the turkeys. All right. Let's work with everybody else's top 5. And because we're sifting, we're going to find those people. So these ones are going to be lockers. And what a locker is, you guys will probably find them on level 5. And what a locker is someone who's influential over influential people. The way I see it, they're probably going to hit executive in 1 or 2 months. They're going to see this business and they're going to fire up. Okay. They're also in the right place at the right time. Sometimes you have people that are really influential, but they're just like, nope, don't have time for it. Like, this is not for me, whatever. Right. So they're in that right place, right time. We call it, they're at 12 o'clock. They're ready to go. Like, they're ready to get started. And so in this example here, okay, this person right here, right, knows a lot of influential people. These ones down here, the dark red ones are going to be the lockers, you guys. And that's when things start to get fun, because that's when literally at this point, you have so much going on in your business, right, that they start pulling you in. You're no longer asking for, who do you know that's going to be great at this business? They're throwing people at you. Get them started, get them started, get them a product, get them a product. This person wants it. This person wants it. Where do I go next? Who do I talk to next? Right. And so you want to find those lockers on about level 5. And then once that starts to happen, all of these people take off. And if you look at these down here, what happens is all of these are hot molecules. And at this point, we're looking at LOI, 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 right? Then what happens is this person hits executive. Let's say it's in 1 month. Okay. So the beauty of Drive the Line is, I'm going to come down here. It puts oil in the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, what we call this, guys, is oil in the ground. And we had to use this concept with our team. We'll explain that in a little bit about how we did it. You've heard how Alan's done it, but seriously, now you call this the people above them, right? You call this person right here. You said, oh my gosh, you got a firecracker on your first level.
They're going to Ruby. Like, they're going to Ruby tomorrow. Like, you got to go. You got to get to executive.
You better get to work, because we got oil in the ground. Like, you know, a blue diamond can pay you $50,000 a month for the rest of your life, right?
You can't lose that.
So we
got
to
get to work.
All of a sudden, this person says, okay, maybe I'll put down the TV remote. Maybe I won't watch Yellowstone last night like everybody here in the US did. Okay. Maybe I'll put some work in, and I'll really take a look at this business.
I'll get to executive.
Boom, they start getting to executive. That goes up the line.
So then we call that person. You're going to call that person above that person. Oh my gosh, 2 levels below you, you have explosive things happening. You've got 2 people. They're taking off. They're going to be Ruby. They're going to be Blue Diamond in the next year. You got to get to work, like, get to executive. And now you have somebody under you that's starting to, you know, they're running to executive this month. And then you call a person above that person and say, holy cow, do you know what's happening underneath you? You have 4 levels of fire starting to happen. 4 levels below you, you've got 2 people that are running to Blue Diamond. Now we've got these people right under you. They're running for executive right now this month. Run for executive. Let's go.
And so what starts to happen is not only that it starts to go up the line, right? But I always visualize it like we're dropping a rope. I feel like anybody's seen the movie Home Alone, Home Alone 2, the Christmas, the one in New York, right? When they're climbing down that rope and he lights the rope on fire at the bottom of the rope, and that rope starts to burn up, right? Climbing like crazy, like they can't even go fast enough, right? Because that rope will burn, and that's what happens.
There's fear of loss happening,
and that fire is down there, and that fire starts burning up, and so it keeps going. And so this person's got 5,000 points, and they hit executive. This person says, "Well, I got to get my 5,000 points." They hit executive. Well, I got to get a bunch of people started. They start going. They hit executive also. Now we're looking at 15. This person gets 5,000 points. They're 20. This person gets 5,000 points. They're at 25,000. Okay, and then bam, that all comes up to you. And in that 1 month, your GSV could be 25,000. That's how we get these massive, massive checks. That's how people hit the top of the leaderboard and things like that. And that's how they build the business long term.
It's how you start to build momentum too, because working with this scenario, you guys, on the right side, this driving the line, is so much more fun, and it's so much easier because there's fire and there's excitement, and people are almost like self-motivated. Whereas on the other side, where you're a pancake, you guys know it, I know it, like being a pancake, like I picture when we were at Ruby just brand new rubies, and we were just like juggling meatballs on the plate, like every day, like trying to keep them from quitting or falling off, because they had nothing under them. So they weren't motivated, they weren't excited, and they were lazy, right? And so working on the right, you guys, driving the line, working with speed and this exponential growth is easier. It's fun. It goes faster. Your success gets so accelerated. And from what you're seeing on the right side, you guys, this starts to just explode. You keep working every level down with that hot molecule on the next level, wherever they are, and it starts to take on a life of its own. And you don't stop going deep. You go deep, 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 deeper. Okay.
So what starts to happen is you drive that line and this energy starts to become infectious. And so this person, let's say this person right here, right, gave you their sister and their cousin. And guess what happens over to cousin over here? Cousin looks over and goes, oh my gosh, she's about to hit Ruby and she's got 15,000 points underneath her, all that stuff. Cousin starts to step up. This is 4 sisters down here, right? Sister number 1 is rocking and rolling because she was really willing to move. Sister 2, sister 3, sister 3, 4 starts like busting at the seams, like, all right, I got to do the same thing. So that energy keeps going, you guys. And all of a sudden your day turns into phone call, positive, excited phone calls. Because trust me, like Trish, you said it, like we've been here having these phone calls. I'm like, oh, you call them. You call.
No, you call them.
You call them. Are they working this month? Like, are they still here? Like, I haven't seen. Do we need to like call 911? Are they still alive? Okay, so that's instead of that, we're working over here. We're having fun, guys. I'll tell you what. I've never seen an executive or anybody say, "I got 36 frontline executives and I love it, and I'm retired." Okay, this is where people retire. The next thing is that, of course, within there, it's fear of loss, right? I just mentioned the sisters, the cousin, like, oh my gosh, they're getting going. I don't want to lose that. And then it solidifies that business long-term. So now when you can do this, when you start to learn this concept, you guys, you will also, you're not just going to let these people go. In your mind, you'll be doing that same thing. All right, let's talk to your top 5. This person got to where they are with only 2. Okay, they only started 2. So you keep growing and it really starts to bring your business up in all different areas.
Okay, so how, you guys, how are you doing this? Like when you're doing that process, what are the key elements that Kyle and I were doing to drive our lines in that process? So number 1, we just went over it, right? Be very clear and laser focused on where you are going to focus, right? Finding the strength in your organization, working with the strong ones, the hot molecules, okay? Not spreading your energy out over everybody on the line, and then nobody gets enough energy and you're not driving successfully where it needs to be driven. Identify, focus on the hot molecules and drive under them. Number 2, getting on the phone. I'll be honest, you guys, this entire process for us, like Kyle and I build our business social media, right? Mostly. But that one thing about this business that will never change, it doesn't matter how you're doing the business, what system you're doing, this business is built on the phone. If you have fears like I had, getting on the phone with people and having conversations, the first thing you have to do to successfully drive a line is challenge yourself, get on the phone, learn to have fun with it, and you just do it, you guys. You just dive in and you just do it. And you're gonna find that as you start to do it, it becomes so easy. Every call gets easier. Every call you get better. You don't know what you're saying always, but that's okay. You know, the next one you get better at your speech, you know, you're in the groove. And then before you know it, you're like 4 calls in, you're like, wow, I'm an expert at this. Like, this is way easier than I thought it was. Okay, so get on the phone. This is gonna happen on the phone. Those driving the lines, we weren't messaging them, we weren't texting them, we were getting on the phone, we were calling them with the upline or sometimes alone and saying, oh my gosh, do you know what's happening? Like underneath you, let's go, let's get you to executive. Are you in? Like, let's go. And I think a huge part of the success, you guys, of driving lines is you have to be working fast, okay? You have to work with speed, and on the phone, you have to have a sense of urgency. Like, you're not on the phone for 40 minutes with one person because you're busy. You've got a lot of people to call and they need to know that and they need to feel that energy from you. Like, whoa, something is happening. Okay, I'm lucky she just got on the phone with me. She's not messing around. This is blowing up. I got to get to work. I got to do this. And so you're bringing that excitement and the energy with every single phone call and the positivity. I remember when we were doing this, you know, sometimes you guys, you get on the phone with a new person and they're really quiet, you know, and they're really shy and their energy might be like down here. And when you let that energy like come into you on the phone call, oh, it like deflates you, okay? Your power is gone. And so my suggestion is you lead the energy. On every phone call, you start that phone call with your excitement, your high energy, and the plan. Like, let's go, okay? I think that was so important. The next thing, when you're on that phone call, you're getting 5 names from every single person, okay? 5 names at least. Maybe your upline tells you to get 20, okay? But we always tell our team, you're not getting off that phone call until you've gotten at least 5 people. A quick tip I have for that, if they're nervous and they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't have anybody. You know what I ask? If you could go on these success trips that this company has with anybody, who would you want to bring with you? Okay, that's my little secret tip. I rarely share that, but I want to share it with you guys. Like that question, every single time they come up with somebody. It's like their best friend, it's their sister, whatever, their neighbor that they love. Okay, they're going to start giving you names. Okay, so get 5 names of who they think would be great. Ask that question of it also, if you could do this with anybody, who would you do this business with? Okay, that's also the best one. Get those 5 names. And then the next point is you have to do the work, okay? So when you get that person, they're excited, they come into the business on the next level. You don't, I think you understand this now. You don't let that person then go drive the line. No, you guys, they're new. They don't know what's happening yet. They are not seasoned leaders like you. You guys are going to drive the line all the way down, okay? So you're going to get on the phone with that new person. You're going to help them get their 5 people. You're going to identify of those 5 people who the hot molecule is, and you're going to get on the phone with their hot molecule. And when I said speed was key to this process for us of getting from 0 to 2,000 in 6 months, it was like immediate. It was like, okay, who's your hot molecule? Oh, my friend Jackie. Okay, can we call her right now? Alan taught us that, you know, like the fast speed. We don't wait till tomorrow. We don't wait till this weekend. Oh yeah, what about this weekend, Saturday, Sunday? No, it's like right now. Like, let's call her right now. Do you have 5 minutes? And then we call her, okay? And then follow through with prospects and teammates.
Make sure that you're taking that responsibility on yourself, right? There's so many times where like follow up, right? Like following up. You have to make sure that you follow up and give people the opportunity. So many people are scared to do a follow-up about product. What if they say no? What if they don't like it? Return the product, give them the money back. Let's move on. There's so many people out there.
They're gonna love it anyways.
What if they don't want to do the business? What if they ghosted me for a reason, right? I'm like getting ghosted over and over and over until they're like, oh, sorry, my phone was off. Okay. In my mind, I follow up like crazy because I'm always thinking, oh, even though I can see that they saw this on the phone, right? I see that they saw it on Facebook, a messenger, right? Maybe they're writing me back and like the dog barfed on the carpet, you know, and like God, those darn dogs are just barfing and ruining my business. Okay, so I'm gonna follow up.
Best thought, not the worst.
Like follow up, like, hey, hope everything's okay. So just follow through and then work deep, you guys. It gets so fun. I'm telling you, Alan will tell you this. You've seen his presentations. 5, 10, 15, 20 levels deep. All right. He's working 30, 40, 50 levels deep. He's a madman, but you might have to do that. And so here's what I wanted to share was a little bit about our journey for our first power leg. Okay. So our first power leg started with 1 person. Okay. It didn't start with 15. It didn't matter, right? We had a bunch of cross, but like, it was just that one. Okay. And we actually ran that leg and we kept working deep and deep and deep and deep until we went 15 levels deep. And we met the girl who is now, she rolled up to our level 5, right? She's now rolled up to our level 5. So you will get paid on it. She is our first team elite. She was on our first team elite trip that we went on. She went with us. Guys, she was 15 levels deep.
15. We had done 15 phone calls to get down to her. Who's the best person? Okay, then who's the best person? Okay, get on the phone with them. Who, you know, and it was like probably a month in, 30 days in. You know, we got down there to her
and we kept going. And so that to us is like, that's that proof. You know, we worked with We worked with a girl from Wisconsin, then we worked with her sister, then we worked with a girl that jumped over to Ohio, then we worked with, like, it was just all over the place. It bounced all over the whole country. And that could happen all over the country if you're doing social media. It could be right in your town, right? But
Doesn't matter.
eventually, with all those different levels, you keep driving until you find that locker. Okay, so we actually found a few more lockers, so we kept locking in lockers
Wait,
over and
how
over.
did we know she was our locker?
Right.
When we were on the phone with her, you guys, you know how I was talking about being like really excited every time, bring the energy, all that. She was like, you could hear it in her voice, like she was crazier than us.
Yeah.
Like her energy was so excited and positive and like high, and she was like kind of like fast, and like we could tell she was fire. Okay. And so that's how we knew, okay, this girl, this is it. She's our locker. And so like Kyle's saying, from that point, then we did keep driving deep with her, but we also started going up the line once we found her, to the people above her that were hot and saying, oh my gosh, this girl underneath you, she's hot. She's going to be a blue diamond. You got to get to executive. And then the person above them told them above them. So here we are 15 levels deep. We found her, right? We start getting on these phone calls above her to lock people in. What ended up happening, here we are 3.5 years later, we're going to close out with this. We will tell you what that looks like. People in between, some will fall out, some will see that locker and they will get to work. So what it looks like now, she's now on our level 5. Okay, so we had 10 people that eventually fell out. Some became exec and then fell out later. Some fell out kind of right away. Okay, we had 10 people that fell out, but now there's 3 team elites stacked there. Okay, and at the top is a Lapis that is just always been kind of hanging in there, wavering. God bless her. We want her to see it. We just want her to get to Team Elite, and we're just praying it's going to happen because she's got gold under her now. I mean, she's got a massive organization that could pay her $50,000 a month. Yeah. So, you know,
so that locked it in. And I would say we're on social media a lot, so easy come, easy go. You probably won't have that much fall off in general, but we were moving so quickly. But it locked those girls in, and now we have that
and
power leg
3 team elites
with a team elite on our level 5, a qualifying team elite on our level 6, qualifying team elite on our level 7 on that leg. And so that leg is going to pay us. I mean, it's going to be big. Let's just say that. For compliance reasons, I should just say that. What does it require? First of all, you guys, literally, like seriously, a focus on helping others. I remember when we were in Hawaii, and Alan was asking us about our executives, and he was like, Kyle, how do you feel about your executives? And I was like, I hate them. I remember saying that. I was like, I hate them. I'm like, oh my God, like they drive me nuts because they weren't working, because I wasn't working, I wasn't doing drive lines, right? I was just hoping that they would do all this stuff. But then he changed my focus. And that was one of the big personal development things that I had to go through for myself, was being so focused on business and aggressive and, like dog eat dog corporate side, to literally love everybody that comes in. Yeah. And so I had to learn that over my personal development journey. I think Alan's a huge part of that. Think and Grow Rich was a huge part of that. Just overall personal development, and Nu Skin was a huge part of that. But you really have to have a focus on helping others. Yeah. And then you feel it in your heart, because even for the people that fall off in between, hey, they got an opportunity. We called them and said, look, you can make $50,000 a month if you want. And that was a great opportunity for them. They might've been a little bit sour about it, but in the end, a lot of those people have come back and are good friends and say, look, at least you gave me the opportunity. And so I know that when you're doing this, you will help every single person that you touch. Because yeah, you're working with Nu Skin, there's amazing products, it's a fair company, you're on Team Aloha, like the best people on earth, they're gonna turn into a positive thing. Okay, so then the next thing.
But what does that look like real quick? As you guys are on these phone calls, how do you love on people? How do you truly help people and impact, your overall success and their success? Ask them, you guys. This is something I learned. It took a long time. If you can figure it out right now as you're getting started, your Drive the Lines experience will be way more successful and will be way faster. So when you're on that call, those excited calls with each of them, ask them, why are they doing this? Try and at least get that superficial why of like, why do you want to do this business and make this successful? Find their pain point. If it's that I am tired of going to work and leaving my babies at home, I've got to find a way to quit my job. You need to answer them and say, well, guess what? You can do that. We can do that. This is a vehicle that can get you there. And then you get to work. So identify that why, care about why they need this, let them know you care and that this is the solution, and then bring that excitement and get to work, okay? And I think that's really,
Yeah,
really
I mean,
it.
Move with speed and urgency. Trish nailed that already. That's so important, you guys. Make sure that you do get on the phone. And then the attitude that you have to have is if it's to be, it's up to me. Stop blaming other people. Don't blame your upline. Don't blame your downline. Don't blame your kids. Don't blame your husband. Don't blame anything else externally. If it's to be, it's up to me. So one last question, maybe a raise of hands or some emojis out there. Who's ready to drive the line? Okay. That's it for us, you guys. Thank you so much.
It's worth it. It's so worth it. It'll bring you to the freedom and the business of your dreams and the life of your dreams. So just dive in and don't be scared. You're going to get better every day.
Yes, so good. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you,
Yeah.
Trish.
We
Hey,
love
guys,
you.
You have heard it from masters over here. They're the best. The best students are the ones that, learn and then add to it. And you guys have added great value. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Awesome. I love you guys.
So fun. We
I
love
love
you.
you guys so much. Oh my goodness.
Have fun on your next trip, Alan.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to Mauritius Islands also. Yep. So we'll see you guys somewhere
Oh
around
my
the
gosh.
world, everybody. Aloha.
So cool.
Thank you, Kyle. Oh my God, you guys are amazing.
Thank you guys. So good. Yes. Aloha, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
Derek. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Bye.
Aloha. Thank you, guys.
Aloha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aloha.
Gracias, gracias.
Aloha. Thank you.
Amazing, Kyle and Trisha. Thank you. So proud of you.
Aloha.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you, family.
Thank you, Alex.
Get out.